Lesson 3.2. We're looking back at the essential question of, can you write an expression that represents an unknown quantity? And if you look on page 120 of your math book, you will see words that imply math operations. In other words, you see these words in a word problem, they tell you what operation to use. I want you to take a minute and read through them, read through each of the categories. Come back when you're done. Okay, example 1. You did some of this yesterday through the activities, and they're just reviewing what you did. 1A says write the phrase as an expression. A is 8 fewer than 21. Fewer than, if we look up in the categories, means minus or subtract. B, the product of 30 and 9. We know we need to find the product, which is the answer to a multiplication problem. If we move on to example 2, it asks you to write the phrase as an expression. Note the common error. When writing expressions involving subtraction or division, order is important. For example, the quotient of a number x and 2 means x divided by 2. It cannot be 2 divided by x. Quotient being division, and it says the quotient of a number, our unknown number, and then 2 is what it's divided by. So really keep that in mind. A says 14 more than the number x. More than tells you addition, so you would write x plus 14. If you wrote 14 plus x, no problem. B, a number y minus 7. The word minus means subtraction, and it tells you the number y, which we don't know what it is, and then minus 75 from that. C, the quotient of 3 and a number z. Okay? The quotient of 3 and a number z. Here they're saying, they're giving you the number 3 first. Okay? So 3, because it's first in the written expression, will be the number you start with in your algebraic expression. I want you to take a minute and do numbers 1 through 6, and when you are done, come back for the answers. Number 1, the answer is 18 plus 35 or 35 plus 18. Number 2, 6 times 50 or 50 times 6. Number 3, B minus 25, and it must be in that order. 4, x divided by 4. 5, t plus 11 or 11 plus t. And number 6, 100, number 6, 100 minus k. And that must be the order it's placed in. Okay. I'm going to give you, I'm going to have you open up your spiral or your binder to a blank page. Put 3.1 at the top. Sorry, 3.2, my mistake. And I'm going to have you answer a question for me. The question is, and please write this down, are N3 and 3N equivalent, and why? here's the question again. Are N3 and 3N equivalent, and why? Think about it. Come back for the answer. The answer is they are equivalent. And digging back deep into what you've learned in previous years, multiplication, just like addition, is commutative, which means it can go either way. So 3n and n3, both are multiplication when you're talking about algebra and numbers right next to each other, and they are commutative, so they can be switched around. Let's take a look at example 3. Now we're going to be working with a word problem where you have to write the algebraic expression. So they're giving you, first of all, an example of a word problem, and then you need to choose which one would be correct. So the word problem is the length of Interstate 90 from the west coast to the east coast is 153.5 miles more than 2 times the length of Interstate 15 from Southern California to northern Montana. Let M be the length of the Interstate 15. Which expression can you use to represent the length of Interstate 90? And if you look at your choices, they're all similar. You need to decide, first of all, are you going to use addition or subtraction? And in this case it says more than, so you know it's addition. You also need to know that it says 2 times, so that's going to have to be in there somewhere too. And in all your examples they do show it somewhat. Alright, so the correct answer is answer A. And why is it answer A? Well, we have 153.5 miles more than 2 times the length of the interstate. So if I read this across 2 times, and they said the length of the interstate is 15, M, that's what we're using M for, plus 153.5. So this is your correct answer using the clues in your problem. So now, even more so, it's not about reading the problem and writing down the equation and answer. You really have to understand what they're trying to tell you or ask of you. All right, to practice that, I'd like you to look at this problem and write an equation. When you've written the equation, please come back. The answer to the equation is 2m plus 4. If you did not get that correct, please pause and try to reread it again and see how that correct answer is different from your answer. Now let's take a look at example 4, another word problem, just a little different. You plant a cypress tree excuse me, that is 10 inches tall. Each year, its height increases by 15 inches. Make a table that shows the height of the tree for 4 years. Then write an expression for the height after an unknown amount of years, the T. What is the height after 9 years? Okay. The height is increasing. So you know it has to be addition. So in the first year, if you look at the chart, it's 10 inches. That's where it starts. In year 1, you took those 10 inches and you added 15 because we know it grows 15 inches every year. They put a parentheses 1, which helps you just visually see this. That's times 1 year. Putting a 1 there isn't going to make any difference. And you get 25 inches. Year 2, you still have the 10 that you started with. You added 15 more inches after the first year. Now you can multiply it times 2 because it's 2 years. So it's 15 times 2. You could look at it as 10 plus 15 plus 15. But if we want to make it an algebraic expression, we have to say 2. 3 years. 10 plus 15 times those 3 years. Again, another way to write it would be 10 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15. We don't write it that way. We can change it to multiplication. Okay? So technically, the red numbers are the letter T. We're putting in the years. But at this point, after 4, because we don't have anything listed anymore, if I wanted to know what 9 was, I wouldn't have to continue the chart. I would have to say, what is 10 plus 15t, and I'm looking at example B, that equals 10 plus 15 times 9, and that's 145 inches. Okay, here's what I would like you to do. In your binder again, I would like you to show this example for same section 3.2. I would like you to show your complete answer in that on that paper. The question is, a bamboo shoot is 4 inches tall. During its growing season, it grows 3 inches a day. Make a table to show the height of the bamboo for 4 days. Then write an expression for the height after D amount of days. So pause, draw the chart, write the expression, and come back. Your chart should look similar to this, and your expression should be this. 4 plus 3D equals, it can also be 3D plus 4, that's fine. D representing how many days they want to ask you for. So if you would do on your own, numbers 7 and 8 on page 121, and come back for the answers. Number 7, the answer is 2t plus 5, and number 8 is 250 inches. And going back a step, seems I forgot to give you one of the answers. Oh no, I didn't. I'm good. Please move on to the next activity with 3.2.